Good morning. Welcome to our historical weapons program for this Monday morning. We are coming to the end of our study of the Yang style Tai Chi Saber. We've been working on all of the movements beginning to end. We've got the choreography. We're looking at some details and trying to pick up some pieces and continuing some of our work on sort of building up those foundations as well as the strength with the weapon. So let's get ourselves rolling along here. We'll get the feet in the ground. Just let the head rise. Nice deep breath in and down. Again, inhale to rise. And exhale, settle. Now we're looking from side to side. And we'll do some half circles. Loosening up in that neck one more time. And let's loosen up the shoulders. We'll roll them back. And we'll roll them forward. Arms can circle one way. And arms can circle the other. We're going to reach and lean to one side. And over to the other. One more time on the first side. And the second. All right, let's get that trunk warmed up. Arms nice and loose. Let the trunk wrap those arms around as the trunk is turning. And some shoulder stretch, so we'll give it a pull across. And same on the other arm. Over the head and pull. And same on the other side. We'll pull behind the back. And same on the other arm. Okay, circling our wrists around one way. And around the other. One more time. First way. And the second. A little bit of wrist stretch, so we'll push in. And same on the other side. Fingers in the palm, we'll stretch a little. And same on the other arm. Shake out the wrists. Circle those hips around one way. And around the other. One more time. First way. And the second. Okay, let's pick up our weapons in the ongoing what sword to use today. This is my Hanwei practical sword. This is the one I've probably done most of my cutting practice with over the years. So let's get ourselves started with our downwards diagonals. So we're going to be cutting down and back, getting those nice pulled arcs that we've been working on since the beginning of this study. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. We'll go to our non-dominant side, downwards diagonals. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Good. Back to the dominant arm. We'll do our rising diagonals up from underneath. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 into the non-dominant arm. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Back to our dominant arm. Let's go for, in our base cut patterns, our horizontals. We're turning over, pushing back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Let's change up to the opposite arm. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Yeah. Let's go to downwards vertical on the same side as the sword. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We'll take that to the other arm. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Let's go to the first arm, but now we're going to cross over the body. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. To the other arm. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Let's go to our chops. This one takes a little bit more control, so we're hitting and returning. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 on the non-dominant. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Good. Let's do a little bit of a review today on some of the thrust patterns that we've been working on. So one of the shortest thrusting ones that we do, it doesn't get shown a lot because we're often turning it in another direction, but just this little drive. 1. So we get that edge down and we're just pushing through with the blade. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Then we take this one and we start to slide it sideways. And let's make that into our, where we get our low wall reinforced. We call it stirring the pot. And we go thrust short, turn over to the side. So we come around and 1, 2. We get those 2 thrusts, short thrust, longer thrust as we go to the horizontal. So we're vertical edge down and then horizontal edge in. Then deflect, thrust, deflect, thrust. And we get this several times in the set, so it's considered to be one of the important exercises to really get a good feel for. Deflect, thrust, thrust. So that continuous through it. And then we took this one that we were going with the edge down and we start to rise it up and underneath. So instead of straight here, we're driving upwards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Good. We get some thrusts where we're turning the edge up to the sky, and then we're driving out with the blade edge up. So here we can kind of pull in and drive out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Now we can also take that one and spiral it so the edge goes down. So instead of edge up with this thrust, we spin so the edge goes down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Good. Okay, let's leave that for a moment. Give that arm a bit of a break. Let's go to that smoothing out and creating these arcs around the non-dominant arm, where we've been talking about that sort of pump handle idea where as we pull down, we fulcrum on our arm to bring that sword up, and then we can circle that all the way out. So the sword's kind of up against your back and then around. So we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And then we have that opening. This is what we're doing when we're kicking up and out, up and out. A couple more. And what else did we do when we have this sword in the non-dominant arm? We went punch high, punch low, pommel strike high, pommel strike low, and we're circulating, opening and driving, circulating, driving. So we get that idea of hitting with the handle. Boom, boom. One more on each. 1 and 2. Okay. That gets some strength work and some constant cut patterns. Again, when we work forms, quite often we're changing so quickly that we're kind of a lot of the time just spending our time, what comes next, trying to figure it out. When we take our time and work through some of these patterns, take bits and pieces of the form and work them over a longer period of time, that's where we can get to a bit of refinement outside of the set pattern. Let's go through our set though. So we've been starting out, got that opening we were just working on, sword resting in the arm, over the head, we're settling into the right leg, stepping out with the left. Pivot in with the right foot, lifting up, cutting under, and here's our stomp before we come through to bump and pung, and then brush the right leg Now that right hand comes up over the head, and then we're going to get our transfer, that sandwich moment we've talked about. Lift up the left leg, step in with the left, transfer. Wrist is being braced with the left hand, and then we cut low. Deflect. Here's those thrusts we just worked on through. Now we deflect or cut up, and we're going to step through, pressing into a low wall. We're going to roll back, lift up over the head, and press out. Now supporting the sword, we're going to lift up the right leg, step and cut down before coming under with that left hand and rising diagonal. One, draw back. Here's our step through reinforced cut, rising up. We draw in with the left foot, left hand, sword drops. We press out that left hand, step forward. Swords over the heads. We do an inside turn with the left, outside turn with the right, and we cradle the sword, and we thrust back to the corner. There's that turn over edge down. Now we palm strike out. We do our roof blocking and palm before we brush and chop. Now reinforced wall as we step in with that left. And here comes our sequence of 3. Cut down, palm strike, stir the pot, brush and thrust, horizontal cut, bump with pung. Second one, inside turn, cut down, lift up the right leg, step in and palm strike. Deflect, redirect, brush and thrust, horizontal, draw back, bump, come forward, turn, cut down, palm out. We get to our deflect, redirect. This time we change that thrust. As we step up, we turn over the sword. Remember that edge up thrust. Now we're going to deflect, bump, drape over the shoulder, cutting palm before we get that rising thrust up. And then we continue that to transfer the sword into the left arm, and we get our kick with shin and palm strike. Now into shoot the tiger. Turn in, our right arm down, left arm down, high with the sword, low with the hand for our hooks. Just going to move forward a bit here, then we're going to turn, back fist, lift, low strike with the sword, high strike with the hand. We roll back. Here's that up the center we were doing at the warm-ups. Kick with shin, transfer, and now spinning horizontal cut. Outside turn, inside turn, step back, drape, cover, and cutting palm. Pressing into our reinforced low wall, chop back behind. Left hand comes under, we step through with a rising cut. We draw back, we turn out into a hook stance, rising cut and palm strike. Now we step up for a rising chop before we deflect and bump, cover, and stepping into empty stance, cutting palm. We get our drape around, we brush, and our final chop before we roll back, cradle, release that right arm, step back, brush, cover through with the sword in the left, right hand high, stomp, step through, bump, step back, open, step in, and close. Nice. Hopefully the set is kind of gelling for you and you're getting a feel of how to move from beginning to end. So why don't we do that one more time today? So feet are together. We've got our opening. And settle, step, reaching or turning in, reaching up with the sword, rolling back to our empty stance, edge up and stomp. Step through to 7-star with bump. Step back to empty stance. And right hand overhead. Here comes our transfer, so we're coiling, we're getting ready for that cut. We cut through one, we deflect and get those 2 thrusts. We roll back, we step in and we brace for a low wall. Right leg steps back, we roll up high, lift up into crane, then step out and push. Right leg up, sword overhead, step down, chop, underneath with that left, step through, nice big lunging, rising diagonal. Then we do an outside step and come through with our reinforced cut. Draw back and in, step out, palm strike, sword overhead. Sword starts to drop as we do our inside turn. Sword rests to shoulder as we do our outside turn and cover wrist, and thrust to the back corner. Stepping through with palm, roll back, deflect, hook stance, palm strike, brush the left leg and chop. Now we deflect low wall and turn chop 1, step in palm strike. Deflect, roll off, thrust, while brushing the hand over the head, horizontal cut, pommel strike, inside turn, cut down, crane, and step out with palm, deflect, roll off, brush and thrust, cut back into horizontal, bump, 3rd time, turn, chop, and palm. So everything stays the same, deflect, roll off, brush, but now that thrust goes right up with that turned over edge. Deflect, bump with a low wall, drape over the shoulder, empty stance and cutting palm. Now we thrust up from underneath. Transfer the sword, kick with shin, and palm strike. Shoot the tiger. 1, pull down. 2, pull down and in with that left foot. Step out with the left foot. High with the sword, low with the hands for punch. Roll back, back fist, turn in. Sword up high, knee up high into crane. And then settle and shoot the tiger. Roll back into your left leg. Cover with the arms. Kick with shin. And here we go. Spinning. Outside turn. Inside turn. Step back. Drape over. Empty stance. Cutting palm. Again, we go for our low reinforced block. Then we chop back behind us to the right. Underneath with the palm. Step through to cut. Roll back. Cut up from underneath. Step through. Cut under, so a chop up from underneath and crane. Deflect with your low wall, cover, over, and empty stance. Big finish. We do our wall, our draping roofed wall, brush and chop. Roll back, cradle the sword, turn in, step back, brush the right leg, left arm circles the sword around parallel to the ground, right hand over the head, stomp, bump, step back, brush, lift up, and press down. Okay, I'm going to leave it there for today. Gets us a couple run-throughs, some of the work on the cuts and thrusts focus today. Next week, let's focus a little bit on our deflections in our foundations, working on our walls and our drapes, and we'll get another couple run-throughs of the set as we conclude up. Next Monday will be our last run-through. All right, thanks for training today. We'll talk to you all very soon.